The Grain Tracker line of scales from Digistar includes scale kits for planters, drills, and air seeders. A scale on your seeding equipment helps you better manage your planting operations in many ways. But don't take our word for it. Let's hear what growers across the country are saying about Digistar's Grain Tracker scales.
We like the scale on the planter because that way we can split boxes of bulk seed. It's an accurate scale. For farms that I have on shares, I can keep track of what I use on each farm.
The other factor is getting the rate set right, because you can set the drill according to the book and it'll never be right. But the first batch we set the transmission on the scales according to what the book said, and we were probably 15% over. You know, well, at that point you just start backing it down until you get it right.
At today's prices with the seed costs, it's just, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It just costs too much to put this crop in to be over-applying.
And it's a good way of being able to check my population and make sure everything's working right when we're planting in a quick, easy way.
That was another thing that was real nice because my wife tenders me with the seed tender all the time. And via radio communication, she'd holler at me how many acres you got left, and I'd tell her, when we got down within 10 acres, I'd say, hey, I'm getting close. You're going to have to be in the field and help me out. And she wasn't wasting a lot of her time, and I wasn't wasting my time because I tell her that we got 10 acres. It's going to be within the next half hour. I'm going to be without seed, or 15 minutes, something like that. She'd pull in the field, and the big decision is, okay, what end of the field do we start filling at?
Yeah, when you have to plant a certain 20% of your acres, in some instances refuge, all you have to do is calculate the seeds per pound, get your weight you're going to plant. Of course, then we divide by 2 and put that much in each hopper, and we plant that many acres of refuge.
Well, one of the bigger things with the scales, we like to keep our variety segregated. And if without the scale, and if you're trying to split a mini bulk or a 50 bushel seed tote, it's practically impossible for it to come out the same. And this is probably one of the biggest helpful things we had right here, is that we could split the bag up or the box up, and if we knew we wanted to plant 80 acres, we could weigh out 80 acres and our planter would be empty at the end of the 80 acres.
The problem with putting it on a tender is you're going to weigh what you put into the drill. You know, you're always going to be able to basically keep your inventory until you want to move and there's some left in the drill and you're not sure how many's in there. Also, if you put it on a tender versus a drill, you've got to drill that tank empty before you can actually figure how many you're putting on to the acre. You know, this way, if you got the scales right on here, you go in, you drill 4 acres, and you figure your rate, and you adjust it, and you drill another 4 acres until you've got it right. It'd be really hard to do if the scales was on the tender versus the drill.
We wouldn't ever be without a scale.
No, I'd never go back to drilling without a scale.